I convene the April 22nd, 2026 Personnel and Policy Committee meetings order at 7 p.m. Jackie, please call the roll.
Vanessa Berry.
Here.
Emily Swister.
Here.
Kieran Larson.
Here.
Laura Bailey.
Here.
Tatiana Weinstein. Here. Will Sauer.
Here.
Agenda item 2 is opportunity for visitors to speak. Public comment is for the general public to address the board. Each person will have up to 5 minutes to provide public comment. Seeing no one, we'll move on. Agenda item 3 is to approve the January 12th, 2026 Personnel and Policy Committee meeting minutes. Can I have a motion and a second?
I move to approve the minutes of January 12th, 2026 Personnel and Policy Committee meeting. A second?
Any discussion? Okay, Jackie, can you call the roll?
Vanessa Berry.
Aye.
Emily Swister.
Aye.
Kieran Larson.
Aye.
Laura Bailey.
Aye.
Agenda item 4 is to discuss LLZ policy 650, use of meeting and study rooms and application. Dr. Weinstein, use we walk us through the
I can. So as usual, you all have the current copy, the draft copy, and clean copy in your packets.
we're going to work off the beeps thing. It's probably no so I'll get it to say.
So I'm going to work off the draft copy and go over all of the changes. First of all, I just want to mention that throughout the entire policy, there's grades first come, first served, and changed all of them the first served with the D at the end. So that's been changed throughout the whole policy. And moving on under A, just a new title change there, using the word guidelines. The next sentence, I clarified which rooms we're talking about immediately. Your A and B in the O study room.
I'll figure out what's going on.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. And then from 1 through 8 on this page, number 3 was added because we've never had a limit of time for use of the meeting rooms. We've never run into a problem before, but recently we've had some questions, so we wanted to clarify that in the policy under number 3. Number 4 is similar. We've never had a limit for monthly use either. And this reflects, or it's similar to what we do with the group study rooms. The group study rooms allow for 2 times a week. This is 2 times a month. So it's similar to that policy. Then under number 6, this just reiterates a behavioral restriction that we have in our code of conduct. And if you remember last go round, we talked about having instrument use in the city where at times we have cooking clubs who come in. So that also would pertain to like a lot of laws coming from the room or loud noises or yelling and things like that. So using disrupt as the term, we think that covers those things. Flipping the page, and we can go over this again if you have questions. Under number 9, we took out laptop and just made some consistencies and verbiage here. Moving down to meeting rooms A and B, throughout all of the policy, we took out comfortably, because we just wanted to make it clear that certain rooms can only accommodate a certain number of people. And we just changed 88 to 90 to 100 because that is acceptable for these spaces. Moving on to B, change that title. Again, first served, the finding first served has been changed there. Moving to Maple, we again took out comfortably, first come, first served throughout this whole page. Next page, same thing until we get to F. Here I separated the rooms by type, whereas in the original policy it did not do that. Changed the name, so under meeting rooms A and B, that has its own explanation. And then at the bottom of that paragraph, we basically outlined small appliances only to avoid someone bringing something in large, as well as having no open flames in the meeting room, like candles or things like that, Bunsen burners or whatever. And then under vending, just added, this is also in our code of conduct, but added that you can't cook or prepare food in our vending area. And just study rooms as a separate type. Then moving on to I just added the acronym ALBA because we use ALBA a lot throughout all our policies, just to put that in there. And then under same category I, second paragraph, a clarification about what group we need. So outside groups. And then the last sentence was added because I saw this in a lot of other policies. And this statement is also going to be, you will see in our new accessibility policy, that statement's always also there. And then last sentence, just had some better wording there, and then put the correct title of the code of conduct. It's the patron code of conduct. So add it down. That's the quick changes, but I just wanted to make any other adjustments. I mean, that might be
I noticed that this is more of like a grammatical thing. Our use of first come, first serve makes sense, but it's been changed, but it's not quite the same everywhere we go. So in some places it's like first come, first served, and it's hyphenated, and in other places with a comma in the middle, and in other places it's not. So we might just want to, you've done it.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
How do you want to?
well, that's a good question.
What is
The proper,
I
in
think
my
it's
mind, I think it's hyphenated with the comma.
me
right?
too.
Like first hyphen
yeah.
comma, first hyphen serve.
Yes.
Right?
We will.
Doesn't change the spirit of the thing. It was
No,
noticed it was not
but
the
yeah,
same
when you
throughout.
go
Yeah.
through, you'll see that it's not.
It's hard to catch
uniform.
all those.
Yeah.
one question I had was with the reservation process, you can also reserve rooms offline. So do we need to add that?
I think it's
Because when it talks about like you can completing the LLD needs room application, like it never mentions that like you can legislate longer.
Where is that?
So
Under-
just
below
under A2,
A2. Oh, sure. Yep.
reserving a meeting room requires
Oh, and then see item D below.
and
So in D though, it does say the application can be accessed via library.org or in person at the main circulation desk. So we just have to keep. So we have to keep going. So do you want it to say? Because it says see item D below. Do you want it to say something more in this number 2 under A2?
yeah.
Since we don't tell them they should call or they should come in two, I think referencing D is fine. If we had like said, do it at the desk, then we might need to specify also call or
Yeah.
online. But because we don't specify anything until we get to D, I think two is okay.
Okay.
In my mind, at least, like
Yeah.
reading it.
Although in B2, that sounds reserving study and pennies calling the valley of the team circulation services.
Oh.
So maybe adding if the consideration services like can be done online.
We can add something to that.
And they're different though in that A, you have to have the application form, right? And B is just
Yeah.
contacting, right? It doesn't have. Okay.
And we could add visit library.org for number 2 there. Okay. Good point.
My only other note was, do we want to say something specific about instruments or noise, or do you just it encompass it that it would disturbance?
So we've had a lot of discussion about this. We've tried not to do that because we do have someone coming in using an instrument in the meeting room, and it hasn't been an issue. And I mean, we have a piano use policy because we own the piano. But if someone came in with like a harmonica or anything, that's why we use just a blanket description of like disruption. Or so like someone came in with like a brass band or something, we would be able to address it using this policy because it's disrupting
Okay.
other people using the library.
Yeah.
Is it also like this way? It also covers someone brings in a boombox and is playing something obnoxiously loudly. Like,
Oh.
so it covers all noise, not just instruments, but any other type of disruption that could occur.
Okay. I have a few things if I can.
Okay. On A3, it says reserved to 3 hyphen hours. The hyphen shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And then in 4, I wasn't sure if we needed to say that encompasses rooms A/B and Oak Study Room because these are the guidelines for rooms A and B in the Oak Study Room. So I didn't know if it like needed to be restated.
Well, this was so when I spoke with the circulation services director, his concern was that someone would reserve A, and then they would reserve B, and then reserve the Oak Study Room, and that's what we're trying to
Oh,
say is twice a month for
any of those.
Yes. So how would you rather that?
I see what you're saying. So maybe it's just something about, I don't know, like any of these reservable meeting rooms up to 2. So
It's not it.
How about just inserting may only reserve a meeting room up to 2 times per month, encompasses rooms A/B and Oak Study Room. But, I mean,
My thought is, we say may reserve a meeting room up to 2 times a month. Is this a meeting room? Yes.
yes,
Is A meeting room?
yes.
yes.
So if you reserve a meeting room twice a month, that is your max. You cannot then say, well, I want Oak now. Like, you've reserved a meeting room twice.
Right. I get that.
Because the Oak Study Room is considered
Yes.
a meeting.
Or even,
Because it's titled the study room
yeah. We do have it up here in the
description.
guidelines, though. Or if you reserve,
Right.
if you reserve B twice, and then I go to reserve A,
Right,
have I reserved a meeting room twice already?
yes.
And the system will flag that?
Yes.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
No, the system won't like that.
But these are the ones that you have to do the application, so it should get caught by
Oh,
who's
yeah,
ever
yeah, no, I'm
processing
sorry,
the
I'm sorry.
application.
No.
Yeah, the
Okay.
system.
These ones-
It won't be an online flagging. It'll
No,
be a staff.
it'll be
goes to staff.
staff.
Okay.
Yeah, apologies.
So I almost wonder if because we have meetings,
Maybe, like the same patron group may place a meeting room reservation up to 2 times per month. I feel like that makes it more clear that you're not just reserving one room, that it's the reservations.
by so calling it a meeting room reservation instead of reserve a meeting room. I think that makes sense.
Could it be meeting room? I just had a thought now. It's gone. Meeting rooms may be reserved up to 2 times per month. No, but that still kind of confuses.
Yeah.
Meeting room reservations are limited to 2 per month.
Yeah.
Yes. What about that?
Say it again.
Meeting room reservations are limited to 2 per month or no more than 2 per month.
Yeah.
So we have to say it about being the same patron/group, right? So we have to specify that part in there.
Room reservations are limited to no more than 2 per month per patron or group. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yes.
Meeting room reservations. Meeting room reservations are limited to 2 per month
per patron or group? Or patron/group? What does it say? Patrons
So the same patron/group.
group?
So meeting room reservations are limited to 2 per month per patron/group. Does that make better sense?
Or up to 2 times per, if we don't like the word limited in there, you could say up to 2, like they are allowed up to 2
Limited
times
is
per,
fine, I
limited is
think.
okay? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a negative word, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to keep the encompasses room A and B and not study room, or do you think we don't need that anymore?
I don't know, how do you think people will read it?
I don't think we need it,
Yeah.
but it also doesn't hurt to
have
just
it.
repeat ourselves.
Yeah.
Like if it makes Cirque more comfortable, and it helps them like hammer that point home,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
it doesn't make things more confusing.
Yeah. In that case, do we want to end that first sentence with a period and then say this encompasses rooms A, B, and Oak Study Room?
Yeah.
Because then now it's getting like sloth.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Got it.
In under the meeting rooms A and B, that paragraph on the next page, so below 10. I personally feel like there needs to be a comma after 40 to 45 people each, comma, dependent on room configuration. And then the next sentence, between 90 and 100 people, comma, dependent on room configuration.
Okay.
On the next page, I just had all the commas in the first come, first serve stuff that Laura was talking about. And then at the very bottom, so right above Oak Study Room, it references LD policy 340. I feel like, isn't there capitalization in the title of the policy?
Yeah.
So it should be public computer use, I think, is where the policy title ends. So I just wanted it to be, because I know that we referenced another policy in another spot, and so it had the title. So, and then I'm in F, food and beverage guidelines. There's some Oxford commas and then there's one missing. So in the sentence it says users may utilize the kitchen for meeting. I'm sorry. Nope, above that. In meeting room B, there's a small prep kitchen that contains a refrigerator, comma, microwave, comma, and sink. And then there, the space is missing, unless it was on the good copy, it was not missing. Before vending area, I can't remember if I looked ahead to
The spaces here says.
like
Oh, like a blank line?
like a blank line, like a space, like here. See, because there's like spaces between each like paragraph thingy. Oh no, it's there. Never mind. It's there on the clean. So forget it.
Okay.
It's there on the clean. Oh, and then the last one that I had was on the last page of this policy, in I, and it says access to meetings and study space, but all the other page places they say meeting, access to meeting and study space. It was like a meeting room, study space. So I didn't know if it needed to be meeting instead of meetings.
Failure makes more sense for me.
Because it's meeting space, right? It's not meetings space. And the title of the policy is use of meeting and study rooms. So, oh, maybe it should be rooms. Should it be the same as the title of the policy?
I kind of assumed that this was talking about like access to meetings, not necessarily access to meeting rooms.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about OMA.
Okay,
Got
so
it.
then it should it be study spaces then and not study space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're down.
Okay. Cool, thank you.
Does anyone have any? Are we comfortable bringing this onto the full board?
Yeah.
Great. And that is the fee application. So policy 650 is meeting and study room and application, right? Application book.
Okay, so this is pretty That's nerdy, but I'm working off of the draft copy. If you look at the draft copy, just took out all of that other language, and then created some bullet points that I pulled from a lot of other library policies. What we had before was that was really old language from many years ago. So I looked at a bunch of other library policies that have more updated language about liability and such. So that's what was added in bullet points. And then just better wording under the prioritization of library programming under the signature line there. And then just on the very last page, added book scoring because it wasn't just a group study or tentative deal. So is it for the application?
I didn't have any on that.
I did, but now I'm gonna double check to see if it carried over from the one to the other. Because I like started to do that and then I didn't do that. So, yeah. So the Oxford, I'm such a pain with the Oxford commas, but the Oxford commas. So in the bullet point stuff.
Yes.
So there's like loss, judgment, injury, comma, or expense.
Okay,
And then in the next one, claim, comma, or cause.
got it.
And then the second to last, regulations, comma, and policies. And then the final one, I think there needs to be,
Wait, you're going
sorry.
Next one.
Regulations, comma, and policies. Second to last. And then the bottom one, a hyphen between above and referenced.
Reference again.
And then, yep, in above referenced, that it should be a hyphenated above referenced.
And where?
Oh, the bottom bullet point.
The last bullet above this signature of responsible.
Yes, thank you.
Reference.
Above referenced.
Above reference.
Yeah, sorry.
You were thinking
Because
like
you were thinking I was saying above.
Reference.
Yeah. And then the other thing, on the clean copy, the title got split funny. So like meeting room application, Lisle Library District, like they're not on the same lines as they are on the draft copy. So if that can get fixed. And then the other thing, and this is could potentially just be me, but on the part where it says for library use only, and then it says assigned, and it's got the different rooms. I don't like that Oak Study Room is the only one that has room abbreviated RM and the rest have it spelled out. So I know spacing wise.
We'll do RM and everything.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So just for uniformity's sake. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw that and was like, well, they probably can't.
I know, and I knew that's what it was. I knew that's what it was, but that's why I was like, can we just make it uniform, please? Thank you.
Okay.
Great. Are you comfortable bringing this on to building?
Oh, actually, wait, pause for a second. In the, now that I just see this, in the equipment needed, so there's like a tiny, tiny little line in front of dry erase. I just realized it.
Hold on. I gotta go backward.
Yeah.
Is it?
Equipment needed, and then podium, tiny, tiny, tiny line dry erase board.
Oh, you're right.
So they just need to be, well, dry erase board is the next line. So
Yeah.
just formatting so that they're together. I did not see that before. Good. So yeah, that just was like a formatting thing. Okay.
So we're good with that one?
Yeah, thank you.
The agenda item 5 is to discuss LLD policy 902 library services on behalf of the particularly at also be named accessibility. They're pointing to all the say that one?
Yeah. So we changed the title to be sorry, no pun intended, inclusive of a lot of our accessibility statements for the library. It's not just about the Americans with Disability Act policy. It's about all of the things we offer and in terms of accessibility and rules and guidelines around it. So the whole first paragraph is better worded. We did add a statement about digital accessibility as well at the last sentence there. Under facilities, we used the term universal design when we renovated the library, but we never really defined it. So we added a footnote so people can know what that means. Under A, took out the word structural and architectural because it's really not needed. We're just talking about barriers for people. So we took out structural and architectural. And then instead of activities, and we did this throughout the policy, we added resources because we regularly talk about program services and resources. Activities, I mean, that's like programs. So it's just redundant. Also, under number 1 there, took out the word structural, not needed. Under number 2, added other appropriate wayfinding methods. That is in reference to the grant opportunity for the wayfinding equipment. So that's something we want to pursue even if we don't get the grant. We're going to go forward with that. Under B, added that the board and committee meetings shall comply with the Open Meetings Act. Added programs too up there in the first sentence. Already list that one. And then just struck the H under CLD policy 650 because H might change if you update that policy on there. I just can forward people to the advance people to that policy. Then under B1, so this changed because under 1, there was specific to OMA regulations. So if somebody needs accommodations, it has to be within 48 hours because that's our limit to posting for the public. So we have to post at least 48 hours in advance. And if someone needs an accommodation, it needs to be within that 2-day period.
Okay.
If we have somebody who requires accessibility accommodations for like a program that's not an elected official run meeting, we could ask for 5 days. That is standard across libraries. Some ask for 7 days.
Okay.
So if it's a program, we can ask patrons to contact us and give us 5 days so we can accommodation can mean anything. It can mean an interpreter. It can mean wheelchair access or like some other way to help somebody attend a program. Whatever that is. So that's why it's divided into 2, specific to elected official meetings and then library programs for 1 and 2. Each page. Then just 3 was added there that will regularly explore other ways to make the library more accessible to patrons with disabilities. And then you see here in yellow, if you notice on our agendas for every meeting at the front, it says in very, in smaller print, it tells people where the meeting's at the top. But the very last sentence, it says, request for a qualified interpreter required 3 working days in advance. That has to be removed and it's to be changed to 48 hours. Because if you remember, let's say we had a HAMAC meeting and we had to post something, like tomorrow for 2 days from now, we can't ask somebody who needs an interpreter for 3 days if we're having our meeting in 2 days. So that needs to be changed. And we are not the only library who has this issue.
So removing it from there, right? But then, so it's just copied or included under that if you have accommodations, it has to be within the 48 hours. So it's caught in the number 1, right?
Yes.
I just want to make sure that I'm.
Yes, it's caught in the number 1.
Okay.
We have to change all of our headers on our
Okay.
meetings to state it's 48 hours.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
Do we need to clarify that in number 1 though? Because when I think disability accommodations, I don't think they're like speaking how about I. So I don't know if that is the thing. So it's not.
So it's ADA, so it's for ASL, sign language interpreter. Because it's for disability, ADA.
Okay.
So it's
Yes. ASL.
Yeah.
Where it was. Are we okay to move on? Just the ending? Okay. Then under C, just better wording about our collection of materials and including digital collections there in the first introductory sentence. Just changed the LLD, just started with collections in number 1. Under number 4, added the library's web address. And then at the end, added a new compliance regulation sentence. I don't know if you saw my email, but that's been extended for another year, but we still have to comply. So that's added there. So we let people know we're going to comply with that. Under E, so we've had issues in the library with this, and so like having it broadened, I think, or just like a better explanation or accessibility policy made sense. So there's a better introduction to service animals, and then everything from 1 through 6 comes straight from the statute, so people are aware. Then under F, just took out under the Americans with Disability Act. We don't have to state that it was in 1990. And again, if it gets updated, we're always going to follow ADA. Right? So we don't need that date there. And then just at the very bottom, last word on this page, replaced that with resources. And same with the last sentence. Yep. And those are the dates we did. Right down the commas.
Oh,
I actually don't have commas, but I do have that hyphen in 48 hours in B1. So to get rid of that hyphen between 48 and hours. And then in C, I think we can get rid of the word collections at the end of the sentence, because at the beginning it says the LD provides a collection of materials in a variety of formats, such as large print, audio, video, and digital. Like otherwise, you know what I mean? Like a collection of material and digital collections
Why don't we say that LLD provides materials?
in a variety of formats.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why digital just.
I know it's just,
harsh.
it just seemed collection and collections in the same sentence. So you're saying LD provides materials in a variety of formats such as large print, audio, video, and digital collections?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, I did have a comma, I'm sorry. In E4, I didn't think there needed to be a comma after the word handler.
Oh, yeah, but I stopped to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That looks odd there too. It looks like there are other examples.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think there needs to be a comma there. But that's all I had for that one. I like I know it's not I guess like we can make comments, right? I like the additional information about the animals, about service animals.
Same here.
I think that's helpful. Especially just kind of, it spells it out more about what's acceptable and what's not. So I appreciate that.
That'll make it easier for staff.
Yeah.
I appreciated these changes as well. It's really comprehensive. I noticed one small thing under E, the red paragraph under points 1 and 2. It says service animals are permitted in any area of the library where members of the public are permitted to go. We have like permitted and then to go at the end. And at first I was like, should we say where members of the public are permitted?
Yeah, and that's
Period, and just no to go? Or do we, I'm noticing as I'm saying it out loud now that we have permitted and permitted, does that make? Oh, okay, yeah, that works. There we go.
Service animals are allowed in an area of the library or members of the public are permitted. That may
Sure, yeah, that works.
better.
Sure. Yep. Good. I appreciated this update. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
appreciated a lot of it. Yeah.
That was very nice.
Any other notes?
I think you bring up a good point too about how it makes it easier for staff to handle situations because they
Yeah,
can
for
refer to
sure.
the policies and
You
then,
can point to
uh-huh.
why that's not.
Yeah.
Yep.
For next week's. The most used by staff.
Okay, so are we comfortable reading this into court?
Yeah.
Or just shift to agenda item 6, which to discuss LLD policy 610, patron code of conduct.
This is dealing with 610. These are rules and regs of using the library for patrons. So there were some additions here. I'm using the draft again. Under number 3, no open flames are permitted on the property. Thank you very much. And then under number 8, again, due to a recent incident, last sentence added, attire that intentionally or conspicuously exposes undergarments is not permitted. We had somebody who had some big slashes in their pants. and underwear was very visible. So that's been added to be more clear.
I'm gonna have some comments about that one, but yeah.
Okay, well,
When we get there.
word that in any way
When we get
you
there.
like.
Okay.
Under number 10, again, due to a recent incident, or recent incidents, I can mention, we are outlining that grocery shopping carts are not permitted within the facility. And then patron equipment or other personnel items may not obstruct external doors, sidewalks, or use of the library in any way. And then just better wording in the last sentence there. Under number 11, just added theft as well as vandalism. Under 13, again, due to a recent incident, looked up a lot of other libraries regarding sleeping. Some libraries actually allow sleeping. Not a lot. Some absolutely not. So, we don't want, if somebody is reading the newspaper and they kind of doze off, that is unacceptable. But if it's prolonged or habitual sleeping, and we've had a patron who is just basically come to the library to sleep, we can't allow that. So that's why we use the term prolonged or habitual sleeping. And a number of other libraries use that terminology as well.
Okay.
Under number 15, again, a recent incident, repeatedly disrupting other patrons for services, favors, or use of personal items is not permitted. Now, I don't think it can qualify as harassment. I mean, it could move into harassment, but we didn't want to use the word harassment there, but like constantly asking somebody to use their phone, or should use,
Like asking other patrons.
asking other patrons to use their cell phone or use whatever they have of personal items. I don't know if legally it can be called harassments, but we wanted to put something in there where you're basically regularly bugging another patron. We don't want to allow that. So that's why that was put in there. I think then at the very, very, very end, we just dropped number 23 because this rarely happens. You need a warrant or probable cause, and we have an alarm system here. If there's like a book that's not shut down, things like that, but we are not going to delete number 23.
Yeah, I feel like that's like if that came up, is it probably
More of a curriculum.
weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those are the updates. See, yes. It's kind of it.
On number 15, do we want to lend it to just disrupting other patrons for services, favors, or other personal items? Like, I feel like repeatedly disrupting other patrons,
Is it enough?
that would, I don't know. I could see somebody that like continued talking to you and wouldn't stop talking, and it wasn't necessarily asking for something, but could fall under the spirit of that rule. So that's
Well, I put it under 15 because we do not allow selling or soliciting or asking people for money. And so this was another like asking somebody for something. Now, Will and I have had a lot of discussion about the First Amendment because just talking to people isn't a crime and it's not categorized as harassment. So that's why we just kind of couched it under this category, because we've had patrons who are, either lonely people or people just want to talk. They go on, and staff are trained to like cut off conversations. We just want to make it clear that we don't want patrons like continually asking for something from somebody else. If somebody is talking to somebody and just going on and on, adults should be able to cut that off.
So Vanessa, were you thinking that it shouldn't be repeatedly, that it should just be disrupting, or are you saying?
No, I think.
Or you just were
I think
asking
it's
about if
fine,
it was the
yeah.
talking part? Okay. Okay.
Because then if someone does have an issue with someone talking to them, and they come up to staff and say this is a problem, then we go to number 2, which is behavior to be disturbed. As opposed to part of the reason we put 15 in there is because if we see it happening, we're not going to wait for someone to come up and say like, hey, this person has asked all of us for $5. Like, staff should interject when they see it happening repeatedly.
Okay.
To be able to like jump the gun.
And we just want to be cognizant of the First Amendment.
Right.
as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Just trying to be careful.
No.
I like the no open flames, especially with people doing fish the lot.
All of that.
And because it says property.
Yeah.
You're right. Should we keep that in red in the policy? Should we keep it as is right here in the, like it's in the draft? Yeah.
In 14, it's got the comma after handler again in the last sentence that was in the last policy that we just did.
That's the last sentence.
Got it. And then in 21, in the last part of the sentence, it says this includes having device on speaker settings. So should it be a device or devices? Like I feel like it needs either to be a device or just devices.
Because everything else is
Yeah.
plural.
Okay, so just having devices on speaker. Okay. Okay, can I dive into 8 right now?
Sure.
Okay. So, my initial thought when I read it was there are lots of females that wear spaghetti strap tops and bra straps show. And that is intentional. So I think that this statement like this is too exclusionary of that. Because I don't want to say on a hot summer day someone can't come into the library because they're wearing spaghetti straps and their bra straps are showing. And that's undergarments. So like I get what you're saying about pants being cut open and ripped and seeing those undergarments. So I don't know if there's a way to specify what type of undergarments we're saying. You know what I mean? Like, and I know we've had this conversation multiple times, over the years because we've, since I've been on the board, we revised it in 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th time. So this conduct, the whole policy, yes, but the patron, not this part, but the patron code of conduct, we've talked about a bunch, and we've talked about appropriate attire. So I want to throw that out there.
And this was discussed as well, like trying to think of the best way to do it. But how do you write, you can't have a big hole cut out in your lower hair.
So the question is like, how do we differentiate?
Yeah. Yeah, because I know the spaghetti strap fight has been happening in high school.
Has it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and where I work, like it's not even an issue. It's just you're covered and that's it. That's like it's, yeah. So, but again, you're not supposed to see undergarments.
Even straps.
No, those you can't. But like below the waist undergarments.
So exposes underwriters below the waist.
I don't know. I don't know what we want to say. I just.
What does that leave us open to? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
no matter how we interpret it, someone will interpret it differently. Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of encompassed in what we already have, proper attire, which conforms to the standards of the community.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know if they ask for more specific.
Well, think about this. This policy is just to allow the public to be aware of our standards. How it's used is staff will implement the policy or like show the patron like this is against our policy, and we don't bring our policy to people. We just tell somebody it's against our policy, and they're like, I want to see that.
Yeah,
and we can show
there it is.
Staff aren't gonna talk about spaghetti strap.
Yeah,
they're never going to walk over to anybody and say you can't be here because your spaghetti's brought strap to show.
Yeah.
They would only use this if it were like a flagrant
More than that.
Yeah.
Are you concerned of patrons also complaining about that to library staff?
No.
Are you thinking just about library staff?
I'm just worried about patrons potentially seeing this and thinking that they can't
Got it.
come in
Okay.
wearing
Got it.
that. I mean, I work in a high school, so I see
I'm sure you see it.
I mean, I see kids dressed like that all the time. So I just
I think the first sentence, as Vanessa mentioned, it kind of says it all, and then it's just we added that
the swimwear and
it talked about swimwear. You need tops, bottoms, and shoes. Swimwear's not allowed.
Maybe taking out the intentionally and just say conspicuously, because I feel like that kind of makes it seem more like more if your undergarments are showing, I guess.
The intentionally was put there because some people get a thrill out of doing that.
Oh, I mean, and like I'm just thinking back like to the spaghetti straps and bra strap. Like I think that is an intentional thing that that people do. So
But whatever you want to change it to is open.
so my question is: so was staff requesting this because of that incident with someone's undergarments because of really bad ripped pants?
Yes. It was not out. I mean, I guess you could say it's not conforming to the standards of, the community, but someone could debate that.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could.
Right.
We don't want to see briefs.
What's that?
I don't want to see somebody's briefs. That's basically it.
Then just take out intentionally. Tire that or
But the bra straps are still conspicuous.
Yeah, they are.
They're still conspicuous.
Yeah.
It's just
So maybe
so-
we just
and maybe
put, like lower undergarments, or how did you say it was worded?
I said below the waist. Oh, I don't even know if it's worded. I don't think the policy says anything about that. I just was saying below the waist.
Yeah, I would say just add.
Do other libraries have in their patron code of conduct like a dress code thing that you've seen?
It's all across the board.
really.
Everywhere. It's all different. This is just something. This was a new thing for us. And
Yeah.
As Laura mentioned about saying below the waist, then it kind of opens up the door to
Oh, well then I can just
It could
wear
right,
whatever
That's
on the
exactly
top, on the
what-
top
right.
half.
Right.
yeah.
Honestly, the first
Yeah.
thing I think of is if fashion is cyclical,
can you come
every boy wearing Jinkos in 1998.
Yep.
Like with the,
Yep. Yep.
let's start seeing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now that you say that, that's coming. That's gonna.
Right.
That's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
gonna
that's
come
bad
back.
for everybody.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's just ahead of
I
the.
apologize.
Uh-huh.
That's a great. I do feel kind of. I hadn't really thought about this until you brought it up, but I do feel like specifying below the waist then ushers in a whole other
Yep.
confrontation.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If
Yep.
if it came to that,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yep.
I really hadn't thought of any of that.
I
through it.
I think that if we're strictly worried about bra straps, I think it's very common. And staff would not, come up to somebody and say, "You can't be here
Right.
because of our policy."
Right.
And like I said, this policy is really the one that's used by staff
Mhm.
most.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I feel like that is kind of encompassed under the conforms to standards of the community. Like, bra straps are fine if you're following standards of the community.
But wearing swimwear or undergarments as attire is not.
Yeah.
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 That was a conversation we said we don't want
I
people coming in
remember
and
the
just wearing
last time.
sports bras or
Right.
whatever. It was
yeah.
like
Yep. I remember that.
or bikini
men
or
are
speedo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has this happened more than once?
No. But we asked the person to leave.
Yeah, maybe I'm kind of leaning towards just leaving it, because the issues we're talking about with bra straps and that kind of thing are like normal clothing standards. And I feel like that's
Not to make a generalization, but I think the person that goes and reads through our code of conduct before they decide whether to enter the building is probably not going to have any bra strap showing anyway.
yes, that's true.
We can barely get people to read it at all. Let alone, like checking the rules before they decide to come in or not.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I think, like Tatiana said, that's a really good point of reference. Is that this is more to give staff guidelines for then when we do have an issue and someone demands the code of conduct, it lets us show that like this isn't something that we have just conjured up to target you.
Mhm.
This is a rule for everyone.
So then, to echo that, then with staff, then the conversation that would be had with staff about these potential changes to the patron code of conduct is that spaghetti straps and bra straps showing is not
An issue.
an issue.
Okay.
Well, and going back to like the Jinko jean thing, like guys wearing boxers with their
Uh-huh.
jeans down
Uh-huh.
below their butt,
Uh-huh.
like it's not, they're not briefs, you know. Like I feel like at that point that was kind of the normal
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
look, and it wasn't.
They conform to standards.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
I'm comfortable with it. Yeah.
I'm okay as long as staff will not stop someone for.
They will not.
Okay.
No.
I'm fine with it then.
Okay, fine.
What do you think? Anything else? I feel like there weren't very many grammatical corrections because we've gone through this one
So many times. So many times. I know.
I think it looks great.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so agenda item 7 is discuss LD policy 425, membership and professional assistance.
So this was I mentioned to Vanessa, this was in my back pocket because we try to go over all the policy readies and updating, and the last time this one was updated was a while ago, and so we just redid the full the whole policy, divided it between trustees and staff because all trustees are afforded a membership to ILA, as are some staff. So just divided it up, better introductory sentence. And then under staff, it's ALA memberships and ILA memberships for the director, ILA for the assistant director and department directors and librarian staff. And then under trustees, there's most for trustees for ILA membership. And then number 2 and number 3 on the next page are for trustees who do not wish to be a member of the ILA, because you get that choice. And then if your trustee wants to become a member of something else, that has to go before the board because it's a purchase membership, and the board gets to vote on that. Okay, that's it. Kind of quick and dirty, but
I didn't have any notes on this one.
I did. As a shock to no one. In the opening paragraph, the third line, beneficial to the employee and LLD, like I feel like there should be a the in front of LLD. That may be mutual beneficial to the employee and the LLD. Again, that's just me.
under A.
Under A, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. There was that opening paragraph above that and I missed it, sorry.
What?
The third line where it says
Beneficial to the
beneficial
employee.
and the LLD.
And B.
The LLA.
Yes.
And then in so A3 and 4, there's a hyphen after 3 for 3 months of employment in both of those. And then that's it. Thank you.
You comfortable bringing this in here?
Yep.
So agenda item 8 is to adjourn. I should have a second.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Second. Right. All in favor?
Hi.
Okay, so we are adjourned at 7:53. Great.